Vikings fans, Tom Downey here. I'm about to break down the latest around Minnesota, some injury notes and some rumors as well. Before that, though, I have a challenge for you guys, and it's not going to be an overnight thing, but I want to catch the Detroit Lions channel here at Chat Sports. It is, after all, Vikings versus Lions week. And to be blunt, guys are getting your asses kicked way behind the Lions. 15,900 at that point. Vikings fans, not even to 2,000 yet. So if you want more free updates on the Minnesota Vikings here on YouTube, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. Let's talk Minnesota Vikings now, as we'll begin with some injury notes on both Michael Pierce and Dalvin Cook. Unfortunately, not good news here on Pierce for Minnesota. The report out of Minnesota from Ben Gosling says that Michael Pierce could be out, quote, a while. As, of course, Ben Gosling of the Star Tribune up in Minnesota. That's a pretty notable potential, at least for now, loss for Minnesota. It would be a key one. The Vikings brought in Pierce to really help be one of the key run stoppers for this team. And unfortunately, and it's not all Pierce's fault, don't get me wrong, unfortunately, the Vikings' run defense has been bad, even with Michael Pierce helping to try to clog up lanes on the interior. Now you lose him, you were already bottom 5 in the NFL. I'm concerned it might get worse for Minnesota moving forward. Pierce's raw numbers this year don't necessarily look all that bad. He's got 9 tackles on the season, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks as well, no forced fumbles. I do wonder just how impactful he's been in terms of the run game. I think Dalvin Tomlinson has been a little bit better. But I'll also make this point. No, I don't think Pierce has been a bad football player. I think there are other issues in terms of the run defense. I think, DJ Wonham has an impact there. The not greatest play of all time from guys like Nick Vigil with Anthony Barr out. But this is a loss for Minnesota. I think you'll see Armon Watts get more opportunities, especially against the run. Sheldon Richardson has kind of been more of a pass rushing specialist at defensive tackle, so I'll list him and Dalvin Tomlinson there, but I think Armon Watts will play some as well. James Lynch hasn't played yet this year. Maybe he gets an opportunity now as things move forward, but it's a very interesting situation for Minnesota with that potentially, I should mention, without Michael Pierce. So be honest with me in the comments section. What is your concern level over the Michael Pierce elbow injury? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Scale it 1 to 10. 1 being you're not worried at all, it'll be just fine. He's not even going to miss any time. 10 being you're in full-fledged meltdown mode, and the season is now over. This is the pinned comment on today's video, so head on down and let me know. Dalvin Cook was able to play in week 4 for the Minnesota Vikings, but it was very clear watching him out there that he is still dealing with an ankle injury. He's not 100%. Now, the plan right now for Cook and for Minnesota, which could end up being wrong, like it ended up being in week 3 when the Vikings kind of said he was going to play and then ended up not playing, he's going to play through the pain and the injury. But he wasn't nearly as effective last week. Cook did have this to say, though, on his injury. Quote, "I don't feel like I'm getting worse. I don't feel like I'm headed in the wrong direction. I feel like I'm headed in the right direction to get myself back to where I need to be at." You have those days. We just played a game. Just trying to work myself back to being 100% so I can help us win games. Dalvin Cook is an immeasurable part, well, maybe measurable, but a very important part of this Minnesota Vikings team. This year, 4.4 yards per carry on 51 carries, 1 touchdown. Alexander Mattison is fine as a backup. But Minnesota wants and needs Dalvin Cook with what they want to do on offense to be a huge part of that. And I know this game matters against the Lions coming up. Maybe they would be better served. I will throw this idea out there. If Minnesota said, look, we know Dalvin's going to be okay, maybe an extra week of rest will pay more dividends in the long run than what it will just right this second. So what do you guys think? Do you like my idea of sitting Dalvin Cook an extra week. I know his fantasy owners, if they don't have Alexander Mattison, don't feel the same way. But get your votes in. Be honest for me. I want your honest opinions. Call me crazy if you want. Why for yes or and for no? If you guys want to make some money betting on or maybe against Minnesota, do it with BetUS, our sportsbook partner. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you see on screen. That is chat125. That will get you a 125% deposit bonus. You put down $100, boom, an extra $125 coming your way for free. On top of this, and this is important, I'm hot right now. I love to do parlays. They're difficult. They're not easy. I've hit 2 straight 5-team parlays. I put $10 total on those bets, and I walked away with an additional like $250. On fire right now. Here are my picks of the week against the spread. Lions +9 against your Vikings. It's okay. I still think Minnesota wins, but they're a bit of a close, hard-fought team. So are the Lions. I think the Vikings win by like 5, but give me the +9 for Detroit, even though I still think Minnesota wins. Packers minus, a.k.a. the favorites, 3.5 at Cincinnati. Patriots -10. I don't know if Houston can score 10 points. Not joking. Do you see them against the Bills? They're terrible. The 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals, +6, a gamble there. And then the Dallas Cowboys, -7.5 against the New York Football Giants. I'm hot, but you know what? I'm not going to go 5-0 3 weeks in a row, or am I? Follow my bets or fade me if you want to, but do it on BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is chat125. Let's go back to the defense now for Minnesota, namely starting Everson Griffen. This idea was acknowledged and mentioned by the Vikings' own team website. And by the way, I like it when the team sites have non-propaganda articles out there where they do challenge the team to an extent. I don't mind this. I think it actually makes a lot of sense because Griffen's been productive right now as the number 3 defensive end for Minnesota. This would, however, mean benching DJ Wonnum. Right now, Danielle Hunter, by the way, not getting any major national hype. Dude's been balling. He is incredible. He's looking like he's going to be an all-pro this year. Dead serious on that front. Wonnum has not fared that well, and it's been a rotation. Hunter's playing a ton. Wonnum, Grifferson playing a good amount too. Or Griffen, excuse me. And then Stephen Weatherly only playing a little bit. The snap count so far this year, 185 for DJ, 105 for Everson Griffen, and 67 for Stephen Weatherly. Now, the stats are very intriguing. As unusual as this is, the snap counts are the inverse of the raw tackle numbers. 5 for Wonnum, 6 for Griffen, 9 for Weatherly. The pressure rate, again, is inverted, but Griffen, I think, is still the better pass rusher. No shots fired meant there at all for Stephen Weatherly. It's intriguing to me that maybe Minnesota should go to Everson Griffen a little bit more. Let Wonnum be defensive end number 3. You're trying to win games right now while you have Kirk Cousins. With the way the roster's built, I think going with the vet Griffen makes a lot of sense. That's my vote. But again, this show is not really about me. It's about you guys. So I want to hear your votes in the comments section. Pick a defensive end number 2, because obviously Hunter is defensive end number 1. Get your votes in. EG for Everson Griffen, DW for DJ Wonnum, or SW for Stephen Weatherly. Now, the major news today across the NFL, the Stefon Gilmore trade. He's going to get cut. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Carolina comes through and makes a deal for Gilmore. I don't really think Minnesota was ever in the running for Stefon Gilmore, but, the Vikings need cornerback help. Bashad Breeland, let's be honest, he sucks. Chris Boyd's not good either. And now Cam Dantzler, who played great finally, is on the COVID list. So would you have done this deal? Vikings fans, taking on $6 or so million in salary for Stefon Gilmore and move a future 6th-round pick. Type D for deal, ND for no deal. You would not have done that. I think it's very clear, just a quick side here, by the way, with the terms of this trade. Minnesota was, I don't think, ever really involved. I think they're trying to roll with what they've got to an extent, which may or may not be the right call. But on top of that, the money and medical were major red flags. A future 6th for the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, that, my friends, should be a very real indicator of how low the trade market and borderline non-existent market was for Stefon Gilmore.